The question is that the motion be agreed to. Reno Tirakartni.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am pleased to speak at the first reading of this Customs and Excise Bill, and I'd like to say at the outset, Mr. Speaker, that Labor will be supporting this bill to Select Committee, and I'm sure that our members on the Foreign Affairs Committee will be listening closely to what will no doubt be a number of submitters, because this is such a broad piece of legislation, sir. As the Minister has said, this is a complete rewrite, basically, of our custom and excise legislation. It's a hefty bill, sir, some 370-odd pages, and it's all about hauling our customs and excise laws into the 21st century. And as we know, sir, Customs is the oldest government department of Aotearoa, New Zealand. So it has played a crucial role, and it does play a crucial role daily in our economy. And sir, as the Minister has stated, the wording of the existing Act, the 1996 Act, dates back some 100 years, some of this in that legislation. So it is definitely in need of updating. And so I commend the good work that's been carried out to bring this bill to the House, sir, because the work started on this with a review, I believe, back in 2013, and there was quite a significant period of consultation with affected industry people, all other individuals, citizens and businesses that interact with Customs Service, and that took place last year, sir. So there's been a lot of preparatory work precede this bill, sir. And I just want to really focus on a couple of aspects. When we're thinking of Customs, sir, as the Minister has said, it's about supporting the legitimate movement of travellers and of trade and of goods across our border, sir. So it's a vital service that we have, but it also collects revenue, and it also plays a role in protecting our communities from harmful or prohibitive goods or that may enter into our country illegally. So it is actually quite a broad-ranging function, and all of those functions are carried out, are expressed in this bill in modernising the way that Customs carries out its work at the border. And just to provide a bit of background, sir, it's not just international travellers that will be affected by this bill, members of the public, it's potentially online shoppers, and it's a whole range of businesses, sir, that interact with Customs that basically move goods and travellers and product across our borders. And I'm talking about air and seaport, airlines, cargo operators, freight forwarders, commercial importers, customs brokers, exporters, shipping lines, storage operators, even yacht and small craft operators. So, sir, there's a broad range of Kiwi businesses who daily have to interact with our customs laws, and they've found it increasingly difficult in recent years to deal with the ever-changing technology, to be able to, adequately comply with the law while also being able to get on with their business. And so, sir, there has been a lot of work go into this bill. I like to sort of equate the Customs Service with a process that's going on at the moment, sir, with the National Caucus. And if we think of what Customs does at the border, that's exactly what the National Caucus are doing at the moment. There's a parade of passengers that have lined up, and only one of them can make it through. Only one of them can make it through to that esteemed position of leader of the National Party. And that's exactly what Customs does through its monitoring, its assessment, and its processing of folks at the border. And so we have Mr. English, obviously Dipton's favourite son, who's there at the border, hoping to be processed, hoping to get that passage through to that lofty position. And we understand, sir, we've had word today that Crusher Collins Judith Collins is also throwing her hat in the ring. She's lined up at the passenger queue, hoping to get processed through. And we've also got Jonathan Coleman. He's lined up there too, sir, and he will be processed. And I'm sure the caucus, the National Party caucus, will be looking intently and scrutinising each of these aspiring passengers who. That too. There'll be a lot of work going on, I'm sure, a lot of conversations happening over the next week, so much akin to the work that is going on at our borders daily by the good folks of the New Zealand Customs Service. But I digress. I want to return back to the bill. You do it every 10 months. I want to return back to the bill, sir, but I thought that was a very good analogy of the intense work that is undertaken by the good folks of the New Zealand Customs Service at our border. And of course, sir, we've heard throughout the Minister's kōrero about the use of cutting-edge technology and innovation to keep our border safe, and transformational programs to, do all this flash technology, which is obviously part and parcel of our fast-moving lives in this modern world. And sir, I would just take the House's time to draw attention to some of those projects which the Customs Service has embarked on in recent years. And sir, it's no secret there have been epic failures, and I refer to the Joint Border Management System, sir. That system which we're still waiting for Customs to deliver 5 years after it was due, and at a price tag that is $50 million at least, greater than the actual original budget that was approved by Cabinet. And so, sir, that is one example of supposed cutting-edge technology which is to be rolled out by the Customs Service, sir. And so I think in all the great rush to make things quicker, faster, more flexible, we need to ensure that actually Customs is delivering on producing what they say they're going to do. Because we know, sir, as a fact, that the risk and intelligence tools, which was the central part of the Joint Border Management System, hasn't been delivered. Won't be delivered, we understand, until sometime in the end of 2017. And, sir, it won't even be delivered by the IT contractor that got paid over $100 million to do that job. IBM, sir, failed to deliver the risk and intelligence tools, which was a critical component of the Joint Border Management System. Absolutely, INSIS Mark II, NovaPay, and every other IT debacle that's been undertaken by this government. So, sir, I do want to stress this point, because if someone was to do a case study on how not to roll out and how not to deliver on a major IT build project, it would be JBMS. We understand, sir, that the eventual delivery of the so-called risk and intelligence tools, which IBM gave up on, or should it be Customs gave up on IBM to deliver it, that is now being moved in-house within Customs, and they are going to come up and deliver some type of risk and intelligence tool. And the critical word around this whole IT project, sir, is the first word: joint. This was supposed to be a joint, not a joint IT system between MPI and the Customs Service. And unfortunately, sir, MPI is not benefiting at all from the system, because there is nothing there to help MPI. I'm not talking about the trade single window. I'm only talking about the risk and intelligence and protecting our borders and biosecurity and keeping those nasties out, so we are protect our very important primary industries and across our country. And so, sir, I just wanted to make that point, that this is an important piece of legislation, but we've seen all too often the failure of Customs to actually deliver on this. But apart from that, sir, this is a worthy piece of legislation, and we will be supporting it at its first reading. Kia ora.